Almost 100 years ago, two Sarasota guys fell in love with Siesta Key and drenched out heart-shaped Palm Island on that almost deserted barrier island. You have to wonder if they had ever foreseen what would happen to that barrier key. As many more folks fell in love with Siesta Key, its population swelled to its current state. And yet that's not the only thing that's been growing the last century. Take another look at the difference between then and now. North Siesta Key has grown by almost 1,000 feet. Here's the north end of Palm Island in 1951, with Beach Road down here. You can see the Gulf water's edge back then was just about here, only about 125 feet away from the Gulf waters. Focus on this old resort called the Gulf View Inn, back when it was known for its unique interior and its efforts to protect its property from erosion. In this view, you can see the seawall the Gulf View Inn added, along with all the grounds others added to preserve beach property. In this aerial view from 1957, you can just see that the Gulf View Inn property slightly protrudes into the Gulf. And notice that all of Siesta Key's white sandy beach is still very narrow. Zooming our view out and time forward, here's what the same North Siesta Beach area looks like today. Here's Beach Road, and here's populated Palm Island back here. Note that the old Gulf View Inn has been replaced by the much larger Siesta Gulf View condominium, built in 1980, on land that didn't even exist back in 1951. In fact, in 1980, as you can see from its brochure, that Siesta Gulf View condominium was about 200 or 300 feet from the Gulf. Today, it's more like 1,000 feet back from the water. And what about the rest of Siesta Key Beach? As I walked Siesta Beach the other day, I was struck by how much it has grown over the years. I decided to use Google Earth. Here's an old photo of Siesta Beach from 1985. I drew a rough red line about where the water was back in '85. And watch how the famous white sand continues to expand as the years roll by. While the climate guys keep telling us that Florida beaches will be disappearing, our Siesta Beach has been growing for the last 100 years. As typically, the deeds of these Gulffront properties include all accrued land to the mean high water line. Most associations are clearly establishing their ownerships with flags and warning signs. For example, check out Jamaica Royal. They have 6 permanent signs embedded into the beach that clearly enforce their property rights, while still leaving plenty of space for beach walkers and tourists. Continuing our walk, virtually every association protects its property rights one way or another. The very best way for a condominium association to protect its beach property rights is to populate it permanently with beach lounges and umbrellas, like we see here at the Hyatt Resident Club. While no one knows the future, it's not unreasonable to assume that at some future time, associations may start expanding seaward onto their newly accrued land. Only time will tell. Thanks for watching.